Until recently, no sector of transportation has seen less change and innovation than school buses. Following the horse and buggy design, the first all-steel school bus construction was manufactured in 1930 by Wayne Corporation. Aside from the aesthetic modifications to the design and methods of production, not much has changed for school buses since then. The diesel engine was first introduced to these vehicles in 1956 by Gillig Brothers. Until the fuel shortages of the 70s, however, this feature was considered a premium option for buses. It wasn't until the 80s that diesel engines were offered by manufacturers as an option, and by the 90s, all school buses were powered by a diesel engine. The diesel engine was a small step towards cleaner fuels and more efficient technology, but was only integrated into school bus production out of necessity.
Today's assignment is, draw what you think of when you hear the words clean energy.
Although children are our future, they have long been left in the dark and excluded from the technological advances that are propelling the industry of transportation into a cleaner, greener future. The U.S. Department of Energy issued a series of grants to catapult Kentucky's school buses into the future. A $13 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy was awarded to the Kentucky Department of Education to fund the manufacturing and distribution of hybrid buses to school districts across the state. Once the 26th hybrid bus was launched, Kentucky had the largest fleet of hybrid school buses in the nation. Upon completion of the project, Kentucky will have a fleet of 213 hybrid school buses. Why Kentucky? The geography of Kentucky is widely varied. Almost every type of terrain can be accounted for in the state. This gives Kentucky an advantage because it gives the Kentucky Clean Fuels Coalition the opportunity to gather data on the buses for various types of landscapes. The media all across the state have taken quite an interest in the project, since it is attracting national attention and putting Kentucky schools on the map in the green and clean technology industries. Jefferson County, which includes the city of Louisville, operates the 19th largest fleet of school buses in the nation with over 1,200 vehicles. The district will initially be integrating 32 hybrid buses into its fleet, giving it the largest hybrid fleet in the state and thus the nation.
Well, on the one hand, it saves us, I think, fuel costs. In the long run, I think this is the right direction for school districts to go. We transport 66,000 students, 100,000 miles a day. And so we're very invested in being as economical and as environmentally sound as we can possibly be. And having hybrid buses helps us achieve that goal. Well, obviously, anytime we have savings, and hopefully this will provide a 30 to 40% savings on fuel costs, we can reinvest it in the education of our students. And that'll be a great investment for us, whether it's books or teachers or reducing class size. Any savings we have in facilities or maintenance or transportation really pays dividends in terms of the education of our students.
Every school system is trying to find ways to reduce their costs, especially in today's economy. So with these hybrids, we're able to cut fuel consumption by 30 to 40%. So that means a lot to a school district that is spending hundreds of thousands, probably millions of dollars a year in fuel costs.
What makes a hybrid bus different from a regular diesel bus?
Well, it was designed by our company through our engineers, and we've actually been producing hybrid systems for public sale since 2004 in different applications. We have several applications out there that this system was used in long before it became available in school buses. When you're running down the highway at 65 miles an hour, any vehicle can be fuel efficient. But the vehicles that actually burn the most fuel are going to be the ones that do a lot of start and stop applications. So if we can reduce that fuel consumption at start and stop, that's where you're going to see the benefit out of a hybrid system.
The buses are manufactured at the International School Bus Factory in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as well as the Thomas Built plant in High Point, North Carolina. Thanks to advances in vehicle technology, it is more convenient than ever to gather accurate and up-to-date information on system performance. Data can be gathered remotely via software installed into the system on-site at deliveries. It will be used for performance analysis, as well as life-applicable data for math and science classes for students. The Kentucky Clean Fuels Coalition is working with Eaton to develop a curriculum for classroom teachers across Kentucky, with plans to replicate it nationwide.
Well, you know, not only will this give us savings in transportation, but it'll enable us to share with students technology that I think is going to be the technology of the future, of how all of us can save and improve our environment.
We love green energy! Yeah.
Thanks to the combined efforts and continuous learning of all those involved in this partnership, our children are finally on the road to a greener future. For performance data, pictures, and more, log on to www.kentuckycleanfuels.org.